already day 5 of Awakening the Dark Throne, questions asked and answered with your author, Jessica and Dashaka. So we are just 2 short days away from Awakening the Dark Throne's release date. So you should be able to find that in most bookstores, especially local bookstores, Barnes & Noble, Amazon, or any online ordering system that you prefer. So today what we are going to do is we are going to talk about our main female character, Genevieve Autumn. So she's a half-breed, half-elf, which is basically a death sentence in the world that I created with Awakening the Dark Throne. So I've heard a lot of positive reviews about Genevieve, that she's very relatable, very understanding, very realistic. And then I've had other people be like, she's inconsistent. I don't understand the decisions that she makes. Totally okay. Everybody expects a character or enjoys reading about a specific character, and I'm fully aware that not everyone is going to enjoy a book that I write or that even I may like, and that again is totally okay. The beautiful thing about humanity is that we have our own brains and we're able to decipher from our own opinions based on our preferences. All I ask is that you always just be kind to one another. This world is already so harsh and competitive as it is. Just be respectful to other people. If you don't like it, that's okay, but you don't need to go, attack people for it. Sometimes Goodreads hurts my heart when I read about other people's books and, something that I may love and think is a masterpiece, other people just destroys it. So no need for that. But moving on, Genevieve is our main character, and we will follow her through her journey through book 1 through 5. You're going to meet a lot of different characters along the way and hear from their voices. So get ready for that. Super excited to introduce those characters starting in book 2. But Genevieve, what went into making her, and what decisions did I decide in order to develop her personality? So first and foremost, when I read a book, it needs to be realistic. Even when you're dealing with fantasy and magical realms and, we need a solution. Let's just make a spell for that. It still needs to be realistic, and I still need to be able to track it. If the main character, for example, is winning all the time, never experiences a failure, to me, that is not realistic, because that is not the life and the world that we live in. So with Genevieve, you're going to read in the book that she has been raised in the human world, centered around Catholicism her entire life, because that is where she's most protected. When she adventures into the Alfar world with the light and the dark courts, things begin to change and shift. She goes to rescue her little sister, her adopted sister Lillian, who is her heart, and she's human as well, so she definitely doesn't stand a chance. So she goes in, sacrifices herself, basically sells herself into servitude to get closer to Lillian in order to free her from the dark court who has captured her without consent. Along the way, Genevieve experiences a lot of heartbreak. She experiences a lot of physical, emotional, and mental torment and things of that nature that she cannot control. And that is out of her control completely because of who she is, the position that she's in, and who she's surrounded by. So during this time, at the very beginning, you definitely see Genevieve's motherly instinct, the instinct to protect the people that she loves. You're introduced into her human world very quickly. She is one of a few adoptive orphans that the church basically takes care of. Because they have lost their families, their parents, their fortunes. And she, again, steps into that motherly role, making sure everybody's accounted for, taken care of, things of that nature. That continues into the Alfar world when she goes and sells herself into servitude. She's still wanting to help those around her. So she definitely is very quickly immersed into the fact that the humans are slaves, regardless of if they're the light court or the dark court. And how is she going to make a difference at this point when she has very little power? So her strength is there from the beginning, but because of the mental and the physical torment that she does go through and the abuse that she does go through, it's only natural for her to have breaking points, which she does in the book, and that is noted. Have panic attacks, basically. Go through a stint of depression to where she doesn't care. She's becoming reckless now, and this happens at the end of the book. She basically becomes reckless and doesn't care about her own life anymore. All she cares about is hurting those who have hurt her in return. And she goes through all these ups and downs where, she has a moment of clarity. What is my mission? Lillian. And then she goes through and she's like, I don't care anymore. I don't want to live. I, need to just basically wrap this all up in a ball, hurt those who've hurt me, and I don't care what happens to me at the end. So again, it's a roller coaster of emotion that she continues to go through throughout the entire book, even into book 2 and some of book 3, because of just what she experiences, because of who she is. And so I definitely want to make that relatable, because that is how we as humans process things. If you have ever been through something traumatic or things like that, everybody processes something differently. This is just Genevieve's method. And if you can't relate to that, that is totally okay. This is something, I feel like every author puts a little bit of themselves into the book. So this is definitely something of myself where I pride myself on being a very strong individual, but at the same time, circumstances and outside factors influence that with me and have definitely a large impact on how I process. So today I might be really strong about an event, and then tomorrow I'm like, oh, can't do it anymore. I'm emotionally overloaded. So that's kind of like the same thing throughout my entire characters. Her love interest, she is into a like love triangle for a little bit. There's a couple of love triangles throughout the book. You'll see that as well. Like the characters are very relatable. They don't just see Genevieve and automatically fall in love with her. If they're the bad boy and they're known for playing around with multiple females, they're going to continue to do that for a while. It's not just an instant fantasy or fairy tale to where it's like automatic love. I saw you and I was just completely drawn to you. It's definitely more realistic, and I think it makes the characters more realistic. It makes the things that they have to overcome to accomplish what they want, where their destinies are going, or their outcomes that they're hoping to succeed at, more realistic and more rich. And it also gives a lot more content to their stories and their character development, because you physically get to watch and read about how a character starts at point A and goes all the way through every single letter of the alphabet in order to become that powerhouse or that influential character that you then come to love. Now, with that being said, I'm also very realistic into the fact that not everyone's going to come out and survive. That's just not realistic, regardless of how powerful your characters are. So the creatures that I've created that are coming through the rift, these are monsters. Think about the Kraken and things of that nature. These are massive forces. And so realistically, not everybody's going to survive. Not everybody's going to end up with who you think they're going to end up with. There's going to be a lot of twists and turns throughout this story. So you just need to hold on. But again, I feel like it makes it a lot more realistic, and you don't always get that fuzzy feeling even at the end of the series. It's not going to be, you're going to be glad it's over, you're going to be happy it's over, and you're going to be happy for those who came out of it triumphant, but at the same time there's going to be holes missing because the main characters that helped get you there are no longer alive in that series. So heads up for what is to come. That is kind of how I process my stories and my novels. So if you have any questions or comments below, please comment and like. Hope to see you tomorrow.